Hello, hello. I am going to just wait a little bit as Facebook builds an audience. Good morning, or good afternoon. I'm going to just wait a little bit, but I wanted to jump on because I have a group that is called Direct Sales Empowerment. And hey, if you join, feel free just to shout so I know that you're there and say hello. But I have a group called Direct Sales Empowerment, and I am happy to put the link down below. So if you'd like to join us over there, you're more than welcome to. It is basically a group for small businesses, for direct sellers, network marketers, you name it, where we can brainstorm and help each other out. So the other day, I actually had asked the question, what is your biggest stumbling block? Hi, Jess. Hi, Sonia. What is your biggest stumbling block, right? What is it that you have the most problems with? And an answer that I heard was consistency, which really made me think, hi, Bruno. And it made me want to talk about this because consistency is critical to any business, whatever it is that you want to do, consistency is key. If you are going to master or practice or hone in one thing, I'm going to tell you it's consistency, because without it, I believe you cannot have a business. So I wanted to talk today a little about consistency, how to achieve it, and why, hi Bruce, and why a lot of people have trouble with this, okay? And I think that, and I actually made a couple of little notes because I didn't want to forget the key points that I wanted to bring out. But I think that there are two main reasons that consistency is a thorn in some people's sides, or why people say, I don't get it, or can't have it, or can't master it, or whatnot. And that is either, if you can't master consistency, you either don't have a plan, which means you don't have a roadmap, you don't have a system, and I'm going to go into that, okay? And the second thing, you don't make the time. You don't make the time. Those are the two reasons why consistency is difficult for you. So let's dive in a little bit so that I can at least try to share what I've learned in consistency, because I am very big on being consistent 7 days a week. Now, does that mean I work at the same pace 7 days a week? No. But it does mean that 7 days a week I do something that's going to move my business forward, okay? Something. I am going to be consistent every day, because what consistency does is it builds a habit. And just like you're consistent in brushing your teeth, you will become consistent in moving your business forward. It becomes a necessary, it becomes a habit, and it becomes something that just is part of your day. So I want to dive in and talk about the first reason, right? The first reason that people have trouble with consistency is you don't have a game plan. You don't have systems in place. You need both. You need both, all right? You have got to figure out your road plan and your map, which will then bring you to your system. So here's what I want you to think about and what I want you to do. The reason that so many people have a crossover with consistency is they wake up in the morning and they go, what am I supposed to do? And, hey Dawn, thanks for joining. And they have so many things on their plate with business, right? Because there are so many things to do that they go, oh my God, I have so much to tackle. I don't know what to tackle first. And then they just don't do it. Or they say, this is so overwhelming, I'm going to get to it tomorrow. Or they say, oh, I don't love that task, I'm going to push that one off. And when you push something off, you push it off to the next day and the next day and the next day, okay? And it doesn't get done. So consistency, you've got to come up with a road plan. The simplest road plan or way that I can tell you to build one for yourself is what I really want you to do is sit down with a piece of paper, okay? And I want you to write down a list of all the things that you need to do to move your business forward. Now, this does not include making flyers. This does not include making business cards. Sorry, Dawn, I'm glad you love the soap. Thank you. She's talking about something that she had purchased from me. Thank you. It means those things that move your business forward, such as following up with people to see if they like the soap. It means following up with customers. It means reaching out to new people that you can introduce your business to. It means going to attend networking groups. It means reaching out to somebody that might have been interested and wants to learn more about your business. I want you to write down everything that it takes to move your business forward in a monetary way, okay? And then what I want you to do is look at that and literally divide it into 7 days. So, for instance, right, if you are a leader in a direct sales team or network marketing or whichever, or if you are a manager even of a company and you're running, make Mondays your team day. And so Monday, that's when you're going to focus on your team. That's when you're going to think of plans that you might be able to put in place that's going to help them move forward, things along that line. Now, does that mean that that is the only day and then once I finish with that, I go, I'm done? No, but it gives me a focal point. And so if you have a focal point for each of your days, you will not let something fall through the cracks. So if Monday is your team day where you concentrate on your team, let's say, then Tuesday could be your follow-ups with your customers to make sure people are happy. Wednesday, you might say, okay, I am going to introduce this to, and pick a number, give yourself a goal. I'm going to introduce this to 10 people that have not heard of it before, right? And at whatever means that is for you, that's what you do. Were we on Thursday? Thursday could be that you're going to follow up with people that were interested in the business. Friday might be that, yes, Sonia, organization is key, paramount, which ties into systems. But Friday could be that you're going to focus on setting up vendor shows and making connections that are going to get you outside meeting people. Saturday could be, you've got to go down your own list, but Saturday and Sunday, I am a little bit lighter on what I am doing, but I still touch in with my business on something that I have to do, right? Or want to do. Well, have to do. You have to do it. It's a business, right? Now, if you are just dabbling and you're like, doing this for fun and you're not looking to make the big money, look, then consistency might not be as important to you. And again, that's okay. But this is for people that really want to make what they are doing a business, a full-fledged business that is supporting them in a lifestyle that they want. And the only way to get that is consistency. So you have to, hi Pamela, hey Freddie, you have to have a roadmap. Okay, if you do not have a roadmap and you do not know what you are doing or a focus point each and every day, you are going to flounder. That's just the bottom line. You're going to flounder. You have got to have direction. Hey, the thing is, consistency starts with that. And then what happens, like I will tell you, I've been doing this for years where on my calendar, on the top of Monday, I have team. On the top of Tuesday, I have what my focal point is. And I literally write that. Even though I know it by heart, I still write it because you must write down your goals. You must write down your focus. When you write it, it goes out in the universe and it becomes an action. When you don't write it, it sits in your head. When you say, yeah, I know Tuesday's going to be my touch in with clients days, right? Well, you don't have it in front of you. It is so important to write things down. So I think that people are not consistent in what they do. Number one, they don't have a roadmap. They don't have a plan. They wake up and they go, uh-oh, what do I do now? And so they don't do anything, or they say, I'll do it for tomorrow. Which brings us to organization, which Sonia mentioned, which is paramount. And it does not matter how you create a system. What matters is you create one. Because look, you're meeting people all of the time, right? You're doing the work to get out there and meet people. So now what do? You've got a pile of business cards. Do you just put them next to your bedside table? And do you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to follow up with these people, and they sit there? And by the way, follow-up should always happen at least 48 hours after you've met that person. I say 24, but if it's 48, that happens, fine. But the longer you wait, the colder it gets. And so you've got this pile of business cards, or you meet someone, right? And they say, oh, I'd love some information. And you write it on a sticky note, and that sticky note stays in your bag, or it stays on a folder that you put it on, right? Or you keep a pile and you go, I'll get to it when? When are you going to get to it? Because if you don't have a system, everything gets lost. You think you're going to follow up and it surmounts, and it doesn't happen. So put a system in place. Now, a system could be an Excel spreadsheet if that works for you. A system could be, I use a database. I have a great database that I love. A system could be, and I will go back to this because this is the system that I used to use, folders. Simple as can be, folders. And so what I used to do was I would come in and I would have a folder for every month, right? Every single solitary month. I might meet Freddie, let's say, and I'm talking to Freddie and he says, I would like, sorry, there's a piece of hair on my lip gloss, sorry about that. Was driving me crazy. And he might say, I'm interested, I would love your link, can you shoot that to me? And I'm like, sure, right? So now I'm going to go home, I'm going to put Freddie's name, or I'm going to staple his card to a piece of paper, and I have some information that I might want to get. I'm going to jot down a note that says Freddie wants the link. I'm going to email him the link. I'm going to take this piece of paper, and now I'm going to say, you know what? I want to touch back with him in 3 weeks. So this paper is going to go behind in my same folder. Now, if I touch back with him and he says, listen, I'm fine, everything's good, and he says, why don't you touch back with me in a couple of months? I can take that piece of paper and move it to a couple of months. But by doing that, I've got a folder that guides me for what I need to do for the month that I'm in. All right. So if I'm running around with my kids, I can grab June's folder and I've got a business on the go with me very easily. So it doesn't matter if you have a database, an Excel spreadsheet, a folder, a file set, whatever it is, but you must have a system besides just taking your information and setting it aside. Because when you set it aside, it again does not give you action. And part of being consistent, by the way, is having things to work on. So if I have a folder that I know, that I need to get done, okay? And I've got that folder, and I know by the end of the month, it's my June folder. These are the things that I need to do in June. I can take that folder and carry it with me wherever I go. And when I've got 5 minutes because I'm waiting in the doctor's office, right? Or I've got 25 minutes because I took my kid to the dentist and now I'm sitting there waiting, I can pull out my folder and do some text messages. So it gives you the guidance and it gives you the ability to be consistent because you have a plan of action, right? So I want to tie that up about how you need to have systems, you need to be organized, and you've got to do something every single day, which brings me to, but Robyn, I don't have the time. Okay, I love this one, so hang on. I don't have the time. Nobody does. Here's the thing, seriously, nobody does. So, you need to make the time. If something is important enough to you, you will make the time. That is the bottom line. This is a business, okay? You are doing a business. Just like when you do a job, right? And if your boss comes over and hands you a ton of stack and says, this has to be done by this deadline, and you are overwhelmed, okay? And you say, oh my God, how am I going to get all of this done? I don't have the time. I guarantee you find the time. Why? Because you're getting paid, okay? And so you juggle and you finagle, and if you have to work late, you work late, and you have to get up early, you work early, and if you have to skip lunch, you skip lunch because you have to get it done. Well, that is the same with the business you're running. If you want this to be a business that pays you a lifestyle, that you can live one day where you are like, oh my God, this is amazing. You've got to put the work in. And so when it becomes a priority to you, I promise you will find the time. So now let's talk about this for one more second, okay? Because when people tell me they don't have the time, I am going, oh, Dylan, you're in the camera, just so you know. Sorry, my son just walked by. Just so you know, way back when, Belinda Ellsworth, who is amazing, had something called the Power Hour. And if you have not heard about the Power Hour, or if you have not learned about the Power Hour, go to Belinda Ellsworth and get that CD. Is it a CD now? She probably has it on a digital now. That just dated me. But go get it, because it changed my business, changed it. I'm going to give you a summary, but by no means does this mean that you shouldn't listen to it, because every time I listen to it, I'm like, and I get light bulbs. But basically, here's the thing. Like I said to you, if you want to find the time, you're going to find it. I have people that are juggling babies, small children, a full-time job, and their new business, and they're kicking butt. Why? Because they find the time. So watch. Here's the thing. If I told you that in order to be consistent, you needed to spend 1 hour a day on your business, right? And that would help your business grow, would you do it? 1 hour a day. But now let's go further, because you may say, okay, 1 hour a day is really overwhelming when I come home from work and I'm drained. That's the biggest thing. You come home from work, 8 o'clock at night, you barely ate dinner, you're totally wiped. Oh my God, the last thing you want to do is pick up the phone and do some more calls for your business late. You're just exhausted, right? I get it. But the thing is, you need to put the time in to make the business work. And here's how you fit it in. What I'm going to tell you, hi Patty, is I want you to take 1 hour and divide it into 15 minutes 4 times a day. 15 minutes is very doable. Hi Pauline, 15 minutes is something you can swallow. If I said to you, go ahead and time yourself, okay? And I want you to commit to 15 minutes a day, and at the end of 15 minutes, you decide whether you want to continue on, or you decide if you have your 15 minutes and you're done. That's up to you, but 15 minutes a day. And watch, here's how you fit an hour into your day. So get up 15 minutes earlier. It's just 15 minutes. Or take the 15 minutes while you're eating your breakfast and you're having your coffee. Take 15 minutes before you walk out the door to your job and do 15 minutes of text messages. 15 minutes, that's it, okay? So now you've got 15 minutes done before you started your day. Now you go to work, all right? It's lunchtime. I get it. You can't take a lunch break. Listen, you deserve a lunch break. So I'm going to tell you, you take 15 minutes of a lunch break. Even if you're working at your desk, you take 15 minutes for you. It's for you, it's for your business. 15 minutes at your lunch, do some of your text messages. Again, look at the clock, say to yourself, I'm doing 15 minutes. If after 15 minutes you want to continue, bonus. If not, your choice. But 15 minutes at lunch, that's it, okay? Go ahead, do your work. Now you're finished with work, you get in the car, okay? Turn on the car, the air's going. Before you get onto the highway, back home, before you do that, take 15 minutes, put the music on, sit in your car for 15 minutes in the parking lot, and do your calls. Do some texts, do what you need. Again, 15 minutes is not a lot. So, you got your 15 minutes there. Then go home, make dinner, talk to the kids, do what you need to do. You're winding down now, probably about 8:30, 9. I would stop at 9 o'clock, but about even 8:30 to 8:45, sit down, take 15 minutes out. Even if the kids are running around, say, kids, I need 15 minutes, I'll be right with you. Here's some coloring. Set them up with what they need. Take 15 minutes. Let them understand that this is the time that you need, and you'll be right back with them. Put a little timer on, whatever you need to do. 15 minutes at night. You now just did 1 hour of your business. Now, if you did that every single day, guess what? You would be consistent. And so it's these habits of moving your business like this that will all of a sudden start to become ingrained in you. So the question of I don't have the time leads me to believe you're not making it a priority. Because we make time for things that are a priority. And the other question that it makes me wonder, right, is here's the thing. If I told you that by doing this and by being consistent and by, I'm going to read that one second. You have done this for sometimes with different company. How do you choose a company that is profitable? What type of research is needed? I will answer that, Dawn, okay? Because that is a good question. So I'll answer it now because I don't want it to fly off the screen. So Dawn is saying, right, that I've been involved in different companies. I was fortunate enough to be involved with a phenomenal company. I'm involved with a phenomenal company now, and in between, no, I was involved with a couple of companies that were difficult. And she said, how do you choose a company that is profitable and what type of research is needed? Dawn, you know, that is a wide end question, right? There are a couple of things that I look for, and that is a whole nother live. Catherine, I read your message, but I will get back to you when I'm done this live. That is a whole nother live because I actually think that there's a success formula that you want to look for, and I am going to do a live on that, but I am going to stress, okay, because this is from my experience, that it is extremely important to make sure that the company that you are with is well funded, okay, and not debt. They don't have any debt, is debt free. So important because the truth is you can have the greatest product in the world, and if you do not have the money, if that company does not have the money to run a business, they'll be out of business, okay? You have got to have money to run a company. So the question, Dawn, you want to ask the company, you want to ask them, do you have any debt? You want to do some research, go look at the Better Business Bureau. You will be surprised at what you can find on the Better Business Bureau. Look up Ripoff Report, okay? You want to do that. Do a Google on the company. Do a Google on the people that own the company. Do a Google on the businesses that they might have had prior. Start to really investigate, and if you want some help, you can message me. And listen, guys, even if you want to ask me if I know of a company that you might be looking at and it's not the company that I'm with, I am completely fine with sharing what I know, because in the scheme of things, you have to find what resonates with you. Otherwise, it's just not going to move ahead. So there are some phenomenal companies out there, phenomenal. There are some really well-run companies out there, but there are some other things that you really should look for. And again, that's another live that I promise I will do. But you certainly can message me. I'm happy to share tips with you. But there are also some not so great companies, okay? There are also some companies that I would be very, very careful of. So there's a lot of research, Dawn, that one should do. So feel free to message me. But in any case, back to what I was talking about, and thanks, Dawn, for asking that. But talking about consistency and making the time and creating systems, go to people like Belinda Ellsworth, who I am a huge fan of, and learn, because she has some great tips and suggestions. But learn to be consistent if you are not. It is the one thing, no, it's okay, Dawn, no problem at all. It is the one thing that you have got to really master in order to move your business forward. And here's the thing that I was trying to say before. You know, sometimes people will say to me, you know what, I'm tired, or you know what, I just want to watch a movie. I've come home and I just want to watch a movie. And I have to tell you something, like, so do I at times, but I don't. You know, not unless I have actively, if I come home and I've been running around all day and I have not moved my business forward, I'm not going to sit down and watch TV until I do what I need to do on my business. Why? Because I know that if I'm consistent and if I do some sacrifices now to make sure that I work those hours, even when I'm exhausted, in a few years from now, I'm going to say 5 years, okay? But if in 5 years from now, 6 years from now, I can live the lifestyle that lets me, you know, work the way that I want to work, I'm going to sacrifice a few years to live like I want to live. And so that's really what it boils down to, making it a priority and doing it. Does anyone have any questions? Feel free just to jot down below. I'm happy to answer any questions. But I hope that helped. I do think that when people tell me that consistency is a problem, they are not quite sure how to get to consistency. And again, summing it up, break it down, write it down, create a roadmap, create systems, and make the time. So if there's no more questions, I'm going to wait a little bit only because I know that this lags behind. Facebook lags behind a little bit. I hope it helped. Again, we do have a direct sales empowerment group. I'll put the link down below. Feel free to message me as well, just if you want some advice or anything like that. Happy to just chat. Look, the thing is, we're all building dreams, and if we can help each other get there, gosh, like, let's do it, okay? Let's do it. So thank you so very much for joining me. I so appreciate it. I hope that this helped. Thanks. Love that. Bye.